Well, good afternoon, Holy Trinity. This is Pastor Daniel checking in with you once again for another video update. Now, today's video update is going to focus mostly on our live stream. We've received a lot of questions and comments about the sound and the video of the live stream, and today's video is going to be a little lengthy because I think it's a good opportunity to just pause and address a lot of the questions and comments that have come through. Learn a little bit about what a live stream is, learn a little bit about the issues that we're having and that we're working through, and also what we've done, our new BoxCast platform, which some of you might have seen the test that went out yesterday on Facebook and our website, but also, and then what are the next steps that we're going to be taking with regards to our live stream and the audio-visual components here in the church. So I encourage everyone just to hang in there. This will be a long video, but I do think it's worth it because it is our goal to try to answer and address a lot of the questions and comments that we've been getting. So hang tight, watch the video, listen carefully because your question or comment might be answered. And then, but at the end, we'll circle back around, and that'll bring us back to this coming Sunday. And what we're going to be doing this coming Sunday. So that's the important part for those that are going to be watching the live stream this Sunday. So unfortunately, you got to watch all the way to the end to get that piece of information. But let's go back to the beginning. Some folks have been asking, well, what's the difference between what you were doing and what you're doing now? Because what you were doing was a much better quality than what you're doing now. So let me re-explain again. What I was doing before we started in-person worship, those were pre-recorded services where I came to the church, I was at my house, and I would set up the camera right like it is now, very close to my mouth or close to me, and I would record pieces of video, and then I would later edit them in a movie editing program where I could, modify the clip. I could change the lighting. I could change the color. I could change and manipulate and clean up the sound. There were times right here in the sanctuary where the camera was actually right over there, and I was standing here at the chancel steps, and it was the normal video was actually echoey. It had some echo on it, but in the editing program, I can take that echo out. So, what we were doing earlier was a pre-recorded and a produced offering where it was all done in advance and a lot of hours were spent in the editor, making it the kind of polished product that we all grew accustomed to. When we switched to live stream, all that changed, and a lot of folks have been concerned about the quality of the sound. What happened to the sound? Why is the sound so bad? It sounds great when you're doing your video updates. Why does it sound bad when we do live stream? Well, just like we're doing right now, the camera is about 1.5 feet away from my mouth, from my face, and it's designed to pick up the sound from this distance. On Sunday morning, we have the camera in the back of the church, and we're picking up sound from the very back of the church. And that's one of the reasons why the sound has degraded so much, simply because it's not designed to pick up sound from that far of a distance, even through the sound system. But, and the other issue is the most recent problem on Sunday where our live stream came out sideways. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. But what's the difference between the pre-recorded and the live stream? Well, a live stream is just exactly what it is. It is a live version of what we're watching. It's no different than if you're watching a live television event, whether you're watching a football game that's live or one of the big award programs, the Academy Awards that are broadcast live, or Saturday Night Live. When it's being broadcast, it's happening right now at the same time that you're watching it. But that goes out over the airwaves, over the television waves. When you live stream a church service or live stream anything, you're doing the same thing, but instead of it going out over the airwaves, it's going out over the internet. So just like you would a live television production, you need cameras and lighting and microphones and things like that, so it looks good whenever you're filming it. and then it's sent out over the internet, but you also need something on the other end to watch it with. And lately we've been using Facebook Live, and that's mostly because it was a free option that we had. It wasn't going to cost us a lot of money. We didn't have to buy additional equipment, and we didn't have to pay for a service. But there's other methods in which you can watch a live stream. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it through a lot of our television apps like Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV. There's other streaming platforms that you can watch it through the dedicated platform. We did Facebook Live because it's relatively simple to do. All you need is a smartphone. We were using my smartphone. I have an iPhone. And we were simply, I hit 2 buttons and it sends it out over the internet, and then Facebook picks it up and puts it on our Facebook page so people can watch it. Well, we did that because it was a simple option and it was easy to begin with, but we didn't anticipate all of the issues that we were going to be having, primarily the sound. So now that you understand what a live stream is, let's talk about some of the issues. Well, the most recent issue was the fact that our picture got turned on its side. And those of you that tuned into the live stream last Sunday, you know exactly what I'm talking about, is that it came out sideways. Just know that on my end, when I was actually hitting the buttons and sending the recording out, it looked normal. I had no idea it was going sideways because in my viewfinder, everything was normal. And I followed the directions just as you're supposed to on Facebook. In addition, I did it no different than I did the Sunday prior. But for some reason, this one came out sideways. After I did some research, I discovered that that's actually a problem. Randomly, iPhones and Facebook don't play together very well. And Facebook will automatically correct the orientation and sometimes shift it to portrait. Which is the vertical orientation. And then what happens then is if you're watching it on something that is landscape or horizontal, it's sideways. And that's what happened. And unfortunately, there's no specific fix for the problem where it's guaranteed not to happen. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is the sound. We have had a sound issue ever since. And the reason why we have a sound issue is because the microphone that we're using to pick up the sound is simply too far away from the speakers. So if we go to the back of the church, every Sunday morning I set up a tripod back here in the back, and the tripod has my cell phone on it and a small exterior microphone to help pick up the sound. And the tripod sits on this little table back here. Most people haven't been in-person worship, so you wouldn't have seen it set up. But for those that have come, there's a tripod standing on this table, and the camera's right here, and that is picking up the service. Now, it is picking up the service not only from all the way to the front of the church, but you see the sound is coming out of the speakers way up there. Oh, that's about 50, 60 feet up, maybe higher. So the sound has to travel all the way from there way to the back and be picked up by the microphone. Well, that's one of the problems. These, your cell phone microphones that are designed to actually be, right here next to your mouth to pick up the best sound, or even these small exterior microphones like I have on the camera when I do video updates, they're only designed to pick up sound from within 2 to 3 feet away. Once you get away from that, its effectiveness it falls off. It's not working very well, and that's part of the problem. With the camera being in the very back, and the sound being produced up front and up high, it's simply not picking it up. And that's one of the problems. We need a way to get the sound directly into the live stream and not use a microphone to pick it up. So that's task number 2. First is to fix the orientation problem of a sideways stream, and second is to get a direct sound going into the live stream. Another issue that people have asked about is, well, we can hear Father Dan okay, why can't we hear the people at the lectern very well? Well, the main reason behind that is the fact that I'm wearing a headset microphone in worship. It's kind of hard to see because it's a tiny wire, but the microphone's right here next to my mouth. And so it's literally within an inch of my mouth. So it's picking up my voice very well and sending it through the house system very, very well. When you have the lectern microphone, you simply have different people reading from different places. God made us all different. We have very tall people, and very tall people are going to be far away from the mic. And sometimes we have rather short people, and they're going to be underneath the mic. And what happens when people read the readings? Well, they're not speaking straight. They're often speaking down. And that microphone, it varies depending on actually the individual reading, how well or not so well it picks them up. Now, in another setting, that is compensated by someone who's manually controlling the soundboard. And if they're having a hard time picking people up, they turn them up, and if someone's too loud, then they turn them down. We don't have a soundboard as a part of our sound system. We barely have a way to change the volume of that microphone because of the sound system that we have. And so we're kind of stuck with it having one set volume, and so it's going to vary depending on who's reading and how far away they are from the microphone, and how they're reading. Are they projecting their voice directly into the microphone, or say are they looking down so that they're reading and it's not going into the microphone? That's the main reason why the lectern sounds so different than my feed, because mine, the microphone is literally right next to my mouth, and it goes wherever I go, whether I turn my head or walk around. It's always with me. So that's why the sound difference between me and the lectern is occurring. And then we have the overall problem of the sound coming from up high and far away, and our microphone for the live stream's in the back of the church. So that explains the whole sound problem. And the only way around that problem is to find a way to get the signal, the sound signal that's coming from our sound system directly into the live stream. So we wouldn't use a microphone to pick it up. It would go directly into the live stream. And we haven't been able to do that because we simply just haven't had the equipment to do it. And you can't do that with a cell phone and sending it to Facebook Live. That just simply, it's not designed for that platform. And that brings me to our big announcement, which is BoxCast. Some of you saw yesterday a test that I did of BoxCast, and I was using my cell phone again. I can stream directly from the cell phone with BoxCast, and that's one option that we have. And I was testing it out. BoxCast is a professional live streaming platform, very different than, say, using your cell phone and only going to Facebook Live. BoxCast is used by churches across the country, other big organizations across the country, big mega churches and things like that, all use BoxCast as their platform because BoxCast gives you the ability to do some amazing things with a live stream. A lot of which we won't have the capability to do right now, but we will grow into. But one of the things we'll be able to fix eventually, not this Sunday, unfortunately, is we can buy a device from BoxCast that when we stream, it's connected directly to the internet with a hardwire connection, which we now have in the church. And then we will be able to connect a cable, hopefully, from our sound system to BoxCast. So we'll get a direct feed from my microphone and the lectern microphone directly into the live stream. So it will sound as if you are right next to my mouth and the lectern microphone, as opposed to the distant echoey sound that we've been getting, because we'll have now a direct feed from our sound system into BoxCast. We're also going to get a new camera. Well, it's not a new camera, actually. A local Episcopal church, one that I might have been affiliated with prior to me coming to Holy Trinity, which is Church of the Ascension in Clearwater. So if you have any Ascension friends, please say thank you. They're going to let us borrow one of their old video cameras that used to be part of their live stream system. And we're going to put it hopefully right up there. And that camera will now be able to survey the entire church. It has the ability to pan and zoom and tilt and move around. And we'll be able to get a nice shot of the front of the church and send it out into the live stream. And that will also connect directly into the BoxCast. And so the hope is that between our borrowed camera and then finding a way to get a direct connection from the soundboard to BoxCast will improve the video and the audio of the live stream. But that's not going to happen this Sunday, and I'll get to that at the very end. This Sunday is going to still be a traditional version of our live stream, only because we have some components on order that haven't shown up yet, and they're not going to show up until next week. So we simply can't install what I've just said. We've got to do a more traditional version of the live stream. But the other big benefit to BoxCast, the benefit that people will probably quickly recognize, is it's not the sound and video improvement. It's the platforms in which you can view the live stream. So up until now, the only place you could view the live stream was Facebook Live, because we were sending it directly to Facebook Live. BoxCast is a different style platform. BoxCast takes your video and audio signal that's being transmitted over the internet, and then it, for us, we don't even have to do the work, it will send it out to all of our platforms. So all at the same time, it'll be viewable on Facebook Live, it'll be viewable on our YouTube page and channel, it'll be viewable on our website. We now have, if you go to our website, we have a new tab called Livestream, and when you go to that tab, the whole window is for our live stream. And it has a video player built into it now, and you can view past live streams, and you can view the current live stream that's going on live, all directly on our website. Another exciting feature is for those that use Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire Stick. Those you can download a BoxCast app, and then you search Holy Trinity Episcopal Church Clearwater, and we will pop up, and you save us as one of your favorites, and you can view all of our past content and the live stream directly into your television, which I think is really, really cool. And then for those that use Chromecast, if you know what Chromecast is and use Chromecast, you can also Chromecast our live streams directly into your televisions. That's one of the first benefits that we decided to go ahead and shift to BoxCast for, is we were having trouble, some folks were having trouble that didn't have an a Facebook account. Those that didn't have a Facebook account, they couldn't see the live stream, or they were having troubles viewing the live stream. This will solve that problem, because now you have your choice of how you can view the live stream, and there's a lot of options and different ways in which you can view the live stream. The easiest being, now you can just go to our website and watch it right off the website. It doesn't get any easier than that. So that's one of the main reasons why we decided to go to BoxCast now, was to fix that particular problem. And then once we get a couple of new components in the mail, then we'll be able to hopefully integrate a new camera and our actual house audio system directly into the live stream, which should fix a lot of our audio problems. It'll sound very different than what you're used to, but it should fix the issue of people not being able to hear and it not being clear. Now, I say all that to say that's our temporary solution. We're running with BoxCast now, and we will be able to continue with BoxCast even after further improvements. This isn't that BoxCast isn't the temporary thing. It's how we're interfacing with BoxCast is what's temporary. Ultimately, as I was talking about earlier, we need to overhaul the entire audio system here in the church. You know, Holy Trinity, when it was built and designed, I have come to learn as I've been kind of exploring this system, it originally had a very nice and quite amazing sound system. The front of the church has microphone ports and jacks everywhere. Our choir area where the bell choir sits and things like that, there's plugins for microphones all over the place over there. There's some plugins of microphones in our ceilings. And we had amazing opportunity for for a sound system in this building, and I think it had one at one time. That was really, really great. Plus, it would integrate seamlessly into the parish hall and things going on over there. The building itself has been acoustically designed for concerts and things like that. So the potential here is awesome. The problem is, over time, that what used to be a great system between lightning strikes and things like that, the system has been hacked up pretty bad, meaning a lot of those wire connections have been severed and cut. They're just bundled and tied off, and they're sitting up in our sound room connected to nothing. The original soundboard has been struck by lightning multiple times. It's not working anymore. So the current system that we have is kind of a patch system. It's a lot of random components kind of holding it together, making it work. It's why we don't have the ability to change the volume very well on the lectern or my microphone or anything like that. It's why we don't have the ability to easily connect the sound output to a live stream platform. I'm going to have to get a little creative and design something that will work. I think I've got an idea that will work, but it's not a normal thing. We need to get back to having a very nice and cutting-edge system. The building can support it. The problem is almost all the components, everything from speakers, a soundboard, amplifiers, all of that has to be completely redone. All the old stuff thrown out, and we need to get all new stuff. The problem is in the modern world, we have so many options with digital systems. And it's going to take time just to think through what our needs are currently, and also what our needs are for the future. What are we not doing now that we hope to be doing, and we want to make sure the sound system will be able to support it. We want to be able to support concerts here in the church. We want to be able to get all that sound onto the live stream, and in a better way than our temporary fix, where we can put a really good professional offering out onto the internet. But that's just the audio. We also want to do the same thing with the video. Like I said, I'm borrowing a camera from a local church who's not using it currently to do what we're going to do in the short term. Ideally, we need to have our own camera system, and not just a single camera system, but a multi-camera system where we have multiple cameras mounted in the back. Maybe we have some cameras mounted on the sides where we can get a variety of angles of pictures and shots of the congregation during a worship service, the choir, the bell choir, the organist, all of the areas of the front, pictures of the cross, stained glass, things like that we need to have multiple cameras so that we can put together a bit of a production to send out onto the live stream. All of this is going to take time. We have to be very deliberate about the design of this. We have to put some thought into it on what we want and also what we want for the future. Then we have to go through the bidding process. This is not a cheap project. This is the kind of project that could get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in regards to the price tag, because sound and video components are not cheap things. And because of that price tag, we've got to be very deliberate with how we choose what we want, who we choose to do it, and then, of course, getting on the calendar and having it done. That's why we can't just overhaul the sound system overnight. This is going to take a while, probably 2, 3, 4, maybe it may take as long as all the way to Christmas at this point. We don't know, but what we do know is we got to have a temporary fix in the meantime. And that's why we chose to go with BoxCast and try to integrate our current system into it so that we can improve the offering until that day comes when we can overhaul our video system. So that's our plan. So we've talked about our what is a live stream and why was it different. We've talked about the problems that we're going through. We talked about BoxCast, our new platform that's going to help us with some of our current issues, but also continue on even in the future. And that's why we went with it now. And then we talked about the future plans for the sound system and the video system, which, of course, as time comes on, I'll give you updates on that. But what's going to happen this coming Sunday? So this coming Sunday, as I said, we don't have the ability to fully integrate into our sound system yet because we're waiting on some components to come in the mail. So this coming Sunday, we are going to use BoxCast, but we're going to stream it from my phone instead of a direct connection. And so it will go out from my phone. So that means we're subject to the microphone being in the back. So that means this coming Sunday, it will likely be a little hard to hear and it will be a little echoey. We're going to turn the sound up in the sanctuary to try and aid that. And I actually have a brand new microphone that I'm going to try out on my cell phone to see if it works better to pick up the sound. But for this coming Sunday, that's how it will be. But we are going to use BoxCast. So even though the sound will probably be minimally improved, if any at all, what will be different is the way you can watch the live stream. You'll be able to go to Facebook. You can go to YouTube. You can go to our website. You'll be able to watch the service from any of those means. You can watch it through Roku, Apple TV, Amazon TV. You'll be able to watch it on any of those platforms and test that out this coming Sunday, because we're going to live stream this Sunday. One of the changes that we're going to do is instead of live streaming the 10 a.m. service, we're going to live stream the 8 a.m. service, and we're only going to live stream the 8 a.m. service. The main reason for only doing the 8 a.m. service is this. Once that 8 a.m. service has live streamed, you can rewatch it at any time. So those who are used to doing church at 10 a.m., you can still go to the website, Facebook, whatever, at 10 a.m. and just hit play and watch the service. It will be there waiting for you. But for those that were wanting an 8 a.m. at-home option, this will solve that problem because you'll be able to watch it live as it's happening at 8 a.m. Plus, it also gives us a chance to know that everything went well. And if we had a problem live streaming at the 8 a.m. service, then we will do it again at 10, but that's only if we have a problem. Our kind of regular mode going forward is we'll live stream the 8 a.m. service, and then anytime after the service, you can rewatch it at any time. So if you want to engage in worship at 9 a.m., 9:30, 10, whenever, 12 midnight, you can go to our website, Facebook, wherever it has been sent, and you can watch our worship service whenever is convenient for you. So that'll be the big change coming up this Sunday, that even though we're still streaming from my phone with a small microphone in the back of the church, so the sound's probably going to be iffy, we are going to change the live stream time, and an email will go out about this as a reminder. So please pay attention to that and just know that 8 a.m. will be live streamed, and then once that happens, you can watch it whenever you wish on Sunday. That's announcement number one for this Sunday. The following Sunday, we are hopeful to have the new components installed, and that Sunday, it'll be the new video and the new audio. We will give that a try the following Sunday and see how that goes. And the big surprise announcement about the following Sunday is I will not be with us. My family and I are taking a vacation. So Father John Suhar will be our guest priest and preacher on the following Sunday. And I know a lot of folks will be very excited to learn that Father Suhar will be back with us as our supply priest for the day. And he gets the honor of going out of the new version of our live stream with the new camera and the dedicated audio. So that's the video announcement for today. Thank you for hanging in with us for a really long announcement. I know we're running at about 30 minutes. I did have a lot to say. I apologize, but a lot of people had questions. A lot of people had concerns about what are we doing with the live stream for those that have to watch it at home. It wasn't being a very good offering right now. So that's what we're doing. I know it's a lot of info, but thank you for hanging in with us. And just know that until we get to see each other once again, that my thoughts and prayers are with each and every one of you. And may God's blessings be upon us all always. Bye-bye now.